71-year-old Lucie Kamuswekera has been stitching embroidery images of events she has witnessed for 3 decades now. Originally from Butembo in the north and now living in Goma in the east, Kamuswekera learned embroidery as a young girl at a missionary school when the DRC was a Belgian colony. And as she stitches her artwork, she sings the Belgian national anthem used during the colonial era. For a long time, she stitched what she was taught, until the mid-1990s when violence flared up between Congolese government troops and groups that wanted to overthrow the country's leader.
The Italians taught me to embroider flowers and birds because white people like that. But I stopped doing that after Laurent Désiré Kabila's war. I then began to embroider the history we're living through, because today's children and those who will be born will not know history if there's nothing to tell them. Through these embroidered rags, they will know what happened.
Kamuswekera has etched artwork on fabrics highlighting colonial rule, natural disasters and clashes between Congolese soldiers and the M23, moments that she wants to preserve for the future. Some of the tapestry takes 2 to 3 months to produce, and selling the artwork is hard.
I have never benefited from my work. Look at my house. It isn't finished. I have never sold to a single Congolese. It is only white Europeans who buy. And they don't buy them frequently. It is after 2 or 3 months. But despite this, I continue producing to the point that I sometimes wonder if I'm tiring myself for nothing. But I tell myself that I must continue to tell this story, which will help future generations.
She normally begins her artwork with hand drawing the fabric before she embarks on embroidery, a tedious process. And as old age sets in, she finds herself struggling to do that work. But determined to ensure the craft lives on, she has now passed on the skill to her 21-year-old granddaughter.
I have benefited a lot from my grandmother. If she was to die today or tomorrow, I will be able to train other people, young or old, tell them about my grandmother and the things she did, and continue her work.
Sometimes, when Kamuswekera thinks of the difficulties of putting art on textiles, she considers quitting. But the fear of her countrymen and women losing their history and heritage keeps her going. She hopes that one day the Congolese government will appreciate her artwork and reward her, even as she continues etching her country's history on fabrics, one stitch at a time. Caroline B., CGTN.